Hello there everyone and welcome back. My time with the Ancient Predators is going incredibly well now, especially since my last video. I managed to get 2 matches in rapid succession, mainly because my opponent did not want to deal with the onslaught of, well, I don't know, they probably had bad luck there. I was kind of breaking their armor really quickly in the first 2 turns, so we didn't get to see what the elf teams were up against the last. Hell, let's see history, that's what I'm looking for. There we go. So things are looking promising, but it's only a matter of time till things get bad for me, or at least I start having ties or even losses, and that's making me really damn anxious with all these victories, I gotta say. But nonetheless, I got my 2 blitzers all set up now, with a couple other players getting really damn close to their level up. They either need a touchdown or anything of the sort to get their levels in. Although, I am robbed just a tiny bit with Krosa being able to fix his niggling injury, so I need another match at the very least to pay for the replacement. And then we can focus on what we're going to do for the future, which may be gain a 3rd reroll possibly, since that will technically, from what I understand, only add 60 points to my team value, even though the cost is expensive. And maybe add a skink, possibly 2 at the most. I don't think I want to add too much more, since they're just inflating my points almost needlessly. So there's a lot to look into, a lot of possibilities to improve my roster. So we will get into the next match, and I'll see you on the Twitch stream. So, it's interestingly enough, they do not have Loner, which is surprising, that fact, but this is a lot of muscle, and I'm going to have to really think on how to manage this. Because the Noblar are the opposite end of the spectrum. They're like my Skinks, but worse. Whereas the Ogres, of course, are much more potent. They still have Bonehead, though. And with 6 Ogres, there's likely one of them to break. Or at least, not cooperate. But with lack of Loner, that makes it tricky to at least reliably have that effect stick. I didn't pay attention to rerolls, though, which I'm going to have to look into at the start of this match. I should just escape out, especially when looking through my team. So my opponent is looking at the roster, I guess. And likely, yeah, they're the offense. I can live with that. Since my squad kind of wants to be defensive a lot of the times. It feels like, anyway. Since I'm going to need all the muscle I can to at least deny them their offensive push. Yet my formation kind of suggests I want to be the aggressor, which is not the case. Oh, I am the aggressor, never mind. I'm completely wrong on that matter. Now, the one annoying thing is figuring out where... These are a lot of skills I have to look at. Damn it, they're blotting out this screen quite heavily. I do have block players at least, so that's always helpful. Where do I best position them? Okay, at least they're a friendly sort, I can appreciate that. But how do I get the best use out of my block? Because I can at least get 1 dice here. Can I do the same with this one here? This is going to be awkward. And I have a minute to decide. Or maybe, do I want them back for be the blitzer? Because I don't think I'm going to get the dice blocks I want, and this is going to be scary. Let's see. And I have sidestep for the middle, which I think I'll do. Bone Grinder there is not going to be helpful. I wonder if I want to just minimize the amount of attacks they have. Well, I am the aggressor, let's be honest. I just don't know how to best do this. How to best do the damage necessary. Since they're all strength 5s, I can reliably get 1 dice blocks. Oh, touchback. Wait a minute. Why the hell is my camera swapped? Well, that was weird. I got a block source, though, with the ball, which is kind of convenient. I kind of wish that one of my vanilla kind of sources were kind of available. Oh, who am I can? I can use one of these skinks for the 2 dice block, which is most vulnerable. I think I attacked the right because I have a very damn good chance of knocking that ogre down. Oh, let me change my camera angle. That was not what I want. Let me fix that. I want that just for armor breaks. There we go. No, I do not need that. Let me have my sidestep skinks in a good position, maybe. And then we'll see if it's possible for me to free up some of my sources. I should reliably be able to free this one here, but I don't know about the rest. And I do have Blitz too, which I could theoretically free him if I use my Blitz for the blocker. They are the most important ones to free up, is actually my Blitzers. That may have been a mistake. Since that Blitz did me no good, they would have to get knocked down for that to matter. I didn't quite think that through the best, I suppose. For some reason I had in my head he was going to get knocked down, no questions asked. And I was going to go for a 2 dice block. That's why. That was my mistake. I want to have a skink up there for a 2 dice block and get the very reliable knockdown. So I was thinking too far ahead, I suppose. I get a dice there. I can get 1 dice there, but I don't have a Blitzer, it's a problem. And I would love to knock you back, it's just not damn reliable for me. So the best I could do is just do what opponents want to do against me, which is tie up the ogres as much as possible. Multiple blocks there, single dice. So there's a stun. Knock, double down. Well, that ended that in a hurry. I'm surprised you didn't re-roll that. Yeah, I don't know much about multi-block, but it's supposed to reduce it. Okay. So this is a good opportunity for me, potentially. How to best do this? I would love to get a cage here. It goes without saying. Let's not do that mistake again, possibly, with the Skinks and Saurus, because I would love it to also be part of the cage as well. But that was the reason why that went wrong. Multi-block actually allows you to attack multiple people at once, but it costs you 2 strengths. I don't like this layout. It allows me to get in there really damn well, but I'm gonna have to rely on my skinks heavily for my mobility. A bit of an awkward cage layout, but the ogre, I need 2 assists for the 2 dice block. So I'll put a skink here to block. At least, this is all done with no SPP, so the closest I can get to a fodder skink. And do I have a skink with sidestep to stand here? That'll give me some good protection in this regard. And now I should get to... Oh, there's a Noblar there. Good God. Those things are annoying. And I thought I actively had all the skills available so it'd be easier to see that. But no. I was caught off guard. I still get a dice block with a good chance to knock him down. And I am not attempting to reroll. That's twice I was foiled, but this time it was a little more honest because of the UI being a little inconvenient. And they got double stun on that too, good God. This is gonna suck a little bit. And convenient bonehead, but they didn't bother to re-roll it. Okay, that dodges. Thank you Dodge, for helping there. Now maybe this time I'll actually see the Noblar. Since the convenient thing with the Saurus having the ball is, since these guys have strength 1, unless they get some really good assist, I'm going to have 3 red dice on them. Since I technically have double their strength and they're the attacker. So this works out really damn well. This is a best case situation, of course, having with the Saurus with the ball. I just gotta be good about somehow keeping these ogres at bay. And since I kind of got my squad separated, it's a question of, okay, blitz them. They do get the knockdown last, but I could do a handoff potentially. I also have block, let's keep that in mind too. I just gotta make sure I get my goddamn 2 dice blocks eventually. Which is gonna be tricky to do with Noblars. Since these guys are really damn annoying to dodge. They don't exert any penalties when I move into their tackle zone, but that doesn't help much when I have stunty and guys that have really bad agility anyway. So maybe that was a mistake to dive so aggressively. Because all these guys have Mighty Blow. It goes without saying. I at least get some of my source freed up a bit. So that helps some there. Now, can I get my dang dice blocks I want so badly? Since we do have an ogre to deal with here, I would consider changing cameras so I could see these dang, these Noblars a little bit better, actually. Since there's one Noblar there, one Noblar there. And I do have an easy way to kind of, bash through. I can use the Noblars to kind of move out of position, or move into a better position at least. But this is actually a risk of being a disaster with such an aggressive move forward. At least this time I'll get a proper 3 dice block here. How do I free my source with that said? No double down, so, or knockdown, so still 4 dice so far. Not getting the result I want. And the Skink's in a bit of a bad spot, but it can easily dodge out of the way, I suppose. And we have a Noblar there. Yeah, I immediately regret such an aggressive dive. Being foolish enough to think I could actually tie up these ogres to get a good foundation here. Not really the case. But I can at least move. How to best move is the question. Since they actually get some dices. Yeah, they overpower my Skinks. Normally my Skinks could do more damage than them. Not the case here. Alright. Definitely an awkward predicament for me. Boneheaded perfect time there, thankfully. I got a little bit lucky in that regard. Because that also gets rid of the tackle zone on this ogre too. These guys, these two at least are tied up. This one's free to roam. And they have 5 movements, so... I'm not going to be able to get into the fray this turn just yet. And that wasn't a both down. Continue to dodge. I should have thought about this a little bit better, because now we have a... I was thinking maybe I could follow through my source out and into their half... and eventually get to the opening away from this ogre. But my skin... well, did they actually fall through? I really am seriously considering changing the camera to make it easy to see these Gnoblars. So knock down there. Lots of stuns. This will definitely be painful. I'm going to rely heavily on my block for this. And I could easily get maybe a good dice roll here of some sort. Knock down this one ogre. What can I do about this one? Because there's a nice 2 dice block there. Finally get a damn POW. Don't know if surfing's going to help so much, but... and you have no tackle zone, so if I could push you out of the way... it's one thing to keep in mind, all these Gnoblar have sidestep, so that's not likely to work in my advantage. Unless I can knock them both back. And even then, that may not be a good idea. But I do get a 3 dice here. And you would gain a bunch of strength. I do get a 1 dice block though, but... no way I can get additional ones, can I? Actually, let's use Krosa to his advantage here. Don't know how much I like this, but... I get 2 dice block and I get muscle? Ah. The one time I actually had something for you to do, Krosa. Actually, I do get dice rolls still, but there's a lot of strength modifiers going on here. Well, that's good to see. Although a skink got an injury, which generally is not really a good thing, I suppose. Because I want the sources to do that. Now we get a bunch of strength out of this. Just not double the strength. Where are you going to move that? Oh, you can't move it? I think that did what needed to be done. I gotta be careful how I do this. Since if I go here and get pushed, then I get knocked out of bounds. And it's still a 1 dice block, damn it. I think I want to deal with this ogre. I got time to kill to maybe get a victory, but no, that's not it. So you're just going to sidestep? Where'd you sidestep? Okay, so you went back into that zone. But I do get 2 dice block. So that gave me what I wanted. Sort of. It's just a terrible cage with that said. Against a bunch of things with, 1 dice strengths at least, but still. I did not plan this out properly. And welcome to the stream there, Guardian Sealag, or Solarag, I guess. You are witnessing me being wedged by a bunch of ogres and their little minions. The Gnoblars aren't really scary though, but they could do something if I don't take them seriously. Actually, I should have gone over there. I would have had to force some red dice out of them. Even if this one was attempting to attack. Oh, it was a knockdown. Never mind. I thought it was maybe just a push. But I could surf you really easily. Especially... Yeah, since you're just going to get up and I immediately get a 1 dice block because of the skink assist. So surfing one of these ogres out is going to be a big deal. What I kind of need to rely on is some boneheads to help thin out the number of ogres to deal with. We did get one key one, thankfully, from the one that could have attacked my ball carrier, so at least I got the one bonehead that probably mattered the most, and you negated, unfortunately, what I had in mind, but I could get dice blocks on you. Could. Yeah, that was badly... Ooh, both down, but now I have blocks. Ah, they spent their last reroll, though. No! I thought I actually was covered there. I would have moved the skink up one if I thought that would... I was kind of... Oh, and you got the ball too. Interesting. Yeah, I genuinely thought I was protected there. The skink should have moved up one to kind of assure that. But my priority is clear, deal with this ogre really quickly. And try not to do that same... Well, if I could still get the touchdowns, things could be pretty decent for me. I'm just going to suffer a lot of injuries. With that said... So, lesson learned there, don't try to get super aggressive like that, even if my opponent messed up with their first turn. So I get 2 right dice there. I get a 1 dice there, and I have rerolls. 2 rerolls, so I think I'm willing to use them. I'd rather do with the go for it, in all honesty. Actually, can Krosa go over there? Alright, that makes my life a little bit easier, I suppose. Without having to risk a go for it. Now, I only get a 1 dice block. Is there a way I can get 2? I want to surf the ogre out, ideally. There is a way. I would have to make a dodge for it, though. Do I want to have multiple sources try and tie up this ogre, though? I don't know if I do or not. I try for the 2 dice. Force this thing out of play. There, that does what needed to be done. No stuff, no unconscious or anything like that, alas. And these both have sidestep, so they're kind of okay, aside from the fact they're at risk of taking a massive mighty blow. So I have 4 turns to figure, or 3 turns to figure this out. Which I do have stunty, it's just... So my skinks have a respectable chance to get out, I suppose. This ogre definitely can't get out, at least easily. I just, for the life of me, was not expecting it to pick up the ball. I realistically was kind of thinking maybe fly out into the middle of the field. Which probably would be a little bit scary with the Noblars, since they are a pain to knock down. Both down. You have no rerolls. You did injure Mastekowit, you jerk. Missed next game. I'm willing to allow that. But I kind of got what I want. Now, can I return the favor? In all honesty, I'm more comfortable with block. But block is really great against the Gnoblars too. I only get 2 dice there. I really do need to deal with this ogre if I want to actually get a blitz on the Gnoblar. Bad time for a bonehead. Really bad time for a bonehead, because now that no longer counts as a tackle zone. I'm getting more boneheads than my opponent, I think, at this point. It certainly feels like it. And I do have a reroll again, but I'd like to save it for the pickup. I really want to use my blocker on the Gnoblars, but don't have much of a choice now. And I would like to... Actually... 4 plus the pickup, so there is still a penalty there, but again, I have a reroll. And I do have a... Yeah, with the reroll, I'm just going to try and grab this. Let's see if my luck holds or not. And I gotta keep my... Krosa is actually not a tackle zone. I gotta keep that. I should move you a little more. And keep my ogres right there too, so that may not be smart where I'm positioned anyway. Alright, try and make your way out there. You were kind of stuck there, I'm afraid to say, Salatsu, but... You are gonna maybe force this thing to trip. If it tries for it. There's a 50-50 chance of it tripping at least. Come on, give me your boneheads. It helps open up windows for me to dash on in the next 2 turns, which I'm really gonna need. I'm watching patiently here. I still have... There is possibility for me to make it in there. The Gnoblars are going to have a really difficult... Well, they can dodge really damn well. Still no boneheads, but at least you get pushed out of the way. And my Skinks can outmaneuver the ogres really damn well. I'm still waiting for the bonehead. I need an opening. Fail these, go for it. You did a bunch of rolls. One of these are bound to fail eventually, right? Huh, 1 dice there, go figure. Oh yeah, it's because of that little annoying bugger. So what do I need to push out of the way? Since I can move a lot of distance, I just need a direct path to go. And you are also free, so where can I put you that'd be useful? Since I shouldn't need a blitz anywhere but on the Gnoblar, I think. Oh yeah, and you currently have no tackle zones, so I need to reactivate you. Or commit to a 1 dice block, which I'm not really comfortable with either. Since as soon as I activate you... Where? Yeah, my other blocker, my other blitzer is currently out. There's another possibility here. We'll see if this works. That did not stun you at all, which really stinks. Oh, that really bites. I did get the rerolls, thankfully. And that burnt my goddamn reroll. And being next to the ogre is a terrible idea, but it's better alternatives. Actually, I don't want to try that. That's even riskier to do a handoff, isn't it? If I had a reroll, I would seriously consider it. It might be the alternative. 3 plus catch. I'm gonna try a stupid idea, I will admit. Because I could have gotten out of range of everything if... At least force more go-for-its there. Yeah, that was probably a stupid idea. But I put myself in that position too, being stuck in the corner, I suppose. And now what is my muscle looking like? I'm down 1 Saurus permanently with 2 possibly able to get up. Oh, now you decide to bonehead when it's kind of irrelevant. Unnecessary. At least the skinks are holding in there. No. 3 sources are knocked out now, so this is going to be really problematic for the second half of the game. And this is 2 dice at least, right? Yep, I dodge it nicely enough. Yeah, I don't think it's possible for me to touch down at all. I would have been in a really good position to kind of keep away from everything if that handoff worked. I just didn't like the position I was kind of put in if I did sprint with the skink. Maybe I was thinking too far ahead. Maybe I could have just stayed here safely inside the cage and then look for a handoff next turn. That was probably my mistake. And I get 3 dice on you. Which sadly are a bunch of pushes. So I do have block on you, but two red dice, which I'm not fond of. Yeah, it's just not possible to get to the ball there, which is kind of why I want the handoff to work. But again, I could have just waited there. Actually, this will give me 1 dice if I can get the knockdown. Nope, you're just gonna get in the way, aren't you? Okay, you chose not to dodge. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that, in all honesty, but okay, I'll go with it. I can't quite get a good foul in, or I was thinking maybe fouling the ogre, but I can't get a 2 dice block with this one here. Yeah, it's close, but not quite enough, alas. This is why I probably should have saved the handoff for next turn. I could have kept that ball safe for last turn without needing that risk. But at least with all these three dice is there, even my skinks are kind of relatively safe from the likeliness of that would have been them getting knocked down. Okay, now we're pushed there, thankfully. And nothing to note there. There's still possibility for me to get a touchdown there, but I messed up that first half. Maybe I should not have gone so aggressively, because I got really wedged in that corner incredibly well. And had very little movement, because even though these Nobblers have strength 1, they're still not really comfortable. Definitely don't want to dodge them. Simply put, since I have no agility to take advantage of it anyway. But how many sources get up? Since because I didn't touch down, I don't get my 2 opportunities for him to recover. So I'm very thin on my strengths here. But I do have a blitzer, which is going to be really good at dealing with a Nobblar. That's the one thing I got going for me. Block is going to be give me a reasonable chance to knock him down. It's getting to him because the cage is going to be a pain in the ass. Since I don't have break tackle or anything like that to get in there aggressively. So we'll focus on somehow going for a tie here. And let's see, they have 5 ogres at least at the moment, so I guess I got that going for me some. Both teams lose a turn. And it's on the edge of the field, so if they somehow fail to pick it up, it could go anywhere. Both down, reroll that. So, a really good start there, arguably. Burning the reroll immediately. Now, I'd love to see some boneheads, at least, again, to start opening up some windows for me to move. But it does not look likely, because they already got 2 of their ogres free. And I do have sidestep at least, so that helps. Now let's see how this goes. Since again I have sidestep, there's no real risk of my skink getting surfed off at least. I just don't have the numbers to deal with all these ogres. So I get a 1 dice block on you at least. I could blitz. I'll take a push. Because my skink can very safely just rush up there. Although the Nobblars are going to be... There's going to be a bunch of Nobblars I'm going to have to contend with. And they have stunting as well as this twitchy trait, so they basically are elves for the purposes of dodging. Well, that helps a ton. Taking a lot of risk there, buddy. There's a lot of dice rolls. They have to eventually start failing after all. And Bonehead had the trigger for me. Well, it's a little bit hilarious, but I'll have to go with it. And I think I'll go for a 2 dice block if I can at least stun or do something here. This gives me a lot of room to maneuver. And I think I'll even blitz with you with that said. Wow. So you are going to try and tie up this one ogre over here. Maybe it's not as helpful as I make it think. And otherwise, don't know how to best approach this. I have very little muscle, but my skinks are actually good at doing damage against these Gnoblars. They're just, again, really damn agile, so that makes that tricky to do. So you only get there, and then 2 more movements, so you're going to be a little bit lagging behind. And you do not have sidestep. Gotta keep that in mind, unless I want to make a ridiculous amount of dodges, which I do not want to do. And I don't get 3 dice on you either. Wow. That may have backfired a bit. It frees up the one ogre, but at least it's the ogre that's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, too. But now this Gnoblar just can single-handedly tie up my Saurus, which is going to be a pain. Since I'm going to be relying on Skinks to do damage when I have less of them. I only have... well, I do have 4 Skinks at the moment. And you pick up the ball, dang it. I was kind of hoping you to burn another reroll. Oh, going in for a fast touchdown, huh? Reroll that. Burn your goddamn reroll. Now fail... do you fail this? Okay. My opponent's definitely playing risky here. I feel like, anyway. Krosa's up for how long is the big question. Well, I have these ogres tied up. I don't have the easiest access to get the ball, do I now? I think I have an idea, though. Well, how much movement does this take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... What I'm thinking, it's very unlikely for me to knock down the ball, but I do have a reroll. Is it worth trying to do something really risky so early? I get the POW. I'm going to contend to follow, I think, for now. Ooh. I never did talk about it, but these things do have armor 5, which means that's like, what, a 70-60% chance at least of a stun. And that was the best case situation there for me. Although, that dodge did eventually fail me. I do have everyone up at least, so the ogres can't really go to a good position. They would have to bash me first. But dang it, I was expecting the ball pickup to fail, not the dodge. Even though it's still risky, since I don't have the convenience to reroll. Alright, that ogre's free, but Krosa at least is still standing. Still waiting for these boneheads to fail. And dodge is paying off hugely for at least keeping these skinks alive. You have no rerolls, but you do pick it up, sadly. Now, I think I know how to deal with you. Well, I was gonna say, but you got the double POW. Still waiting for the bonehead, it's not happening. And I do have a skink over here to at least blitz this one guy. Just not gonna be very promising, is it? how do I want to approach this? Because if I do any more risky plays and they don't pay out, then he's just going to go right behind everyone. And my ace in the hole is my blocker here. Yeah, and there's 3 Gnoblars there too, so I get a red dice. And I get a 1 dice block here, but is my dodge going to fail me again? It's the big question. And that's a go for it. So I get a 1 dice block now. Am I willing to try to go for it here? For the 2 dice? At least if I can get the source in the way, that helps a ton. I want to say. I just gotta make sure the source kind of is free. Krosa can get a 2 dice block here. Let me focus on that first. Just watch, I'm gonna get the bonehead again, am I? Nope. But damn, that sucks. I have to burn my reroll for this. And Loner kicks in. Stun one of the ogres, but now they have a nice window to charge on by. At least with the Gnoblar. I was kind of hoping to have this source up, but I wasn't thinking a 1 dice block would be... What am I trying to think? I want the best chance to knock it down is what it was. And the skink can easily get in the way there. Because I don't think this one can get in front. Krosa is technically also free, but I don't think Krosa can even get close enough there to even try to blitz that. Gonna try for the foul. Someone's getting daring. It did nothing there, thankfully. And now this skink can go around and at least attack this one here. Now you're gonna keep it there, right? Nope. Still no damn boneheads, though. After all this, there was only, what, 2 boneheads maybe? Because a lot of the strategy against Ogre, I'm gonna guess, relies heavily on when they bonehead. Because again, they get no tackle zones when that happens. So you cannot go there, Krosa, alas, so... Well, we got a bonehead, it just wasn't the bonehead I wanted. This will give me a 3 dice. With my skink there, once he gets out to safety. I have no rerolls, that's the only problem. And he could sidestep to somewhere advantageous, but thankfully, not happening here. This is definitely a weird game. The skinks are getting more action than my Saurus is. And sadly, that ball is kind of free, so maybe I should have followed up. You sadly don't have block. The Gnoblars can easily pick this up. Burnt the dodge for that, but at least this skink's free for now. Which will change because of this ogre gain up, I suppose. Can I at least play for the tie, I suppose? Since these sources are at least tying them up pretty damn well. But that'll change quickly. There's a bonehead finally, so you don't get to free any ogres. Sadly, it's not something I could take advantage of. But at least the ogres are not contributing at all for next turn. They are getting the POWs though, which still stinks. And with the Nobblars able to do 2 dice dodges, it's going to be almost impossible for me to actually trip them. But we finally gained boneheads. Now, what are you going to do with this there? I sadly can't get a 3 dice block unless I somehow knock this down with one of my skink attacks. Since these 2 tackle zones are already occupied by the Nobblars. I question that a tiny bit, but I do have 3 skinks to kind of charge you. No. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna put you there, and we'll get everyone up and see if they can do anything about this. About this mess. I'm a little bit sad my Blitzer hadn't really any opportunity to get at the Nobblars, since that block is going to be so important to at least get good value knocking them down. So you might just dodge into an awkward position there. I'll take it. I'll take it, but that's 2 injuries for my skinks. This is a messed up game. A lot of it's because I can't get reliable dice with my sources. And they're now actually down to 2 Nobblars. Although, with 2 turns left, they could still touch down, but I don't know how reliably I can deal with these. At least keep them from touching down. Again, they're dodging on 2 pluses there and they're stunty. So it's not like I could give them any negative modifiers to their dodge. You don't have sidestep, sadly. Which doesn't matter, you're going to get knocked down. But I do have 2 skinks. And you could get close enough to touchdown. So realistically, I'm only going to get 1 skink, it maybe seems like. Unless I want to make a lot of dodge rolls. Ooh, both down. That frees Krosa up. That maybe is not as exciting as it should be, but Krosa's the only one that can actually do something about these dodges with his prehensile tail. However, there's a lot of movements that Krosa would need to do. They can easily touch down unless I get a knockdown, which is why I would love a 3 dice block, but not likely to happen with the sheer amount of moves I would have to do. I put myself in this position, I might as well try and go for it. Thank you, dice. Thank you, Nuffle. Aw, come on. You had all the bonehead luck, it seems like, anyway. And I was willing to take a double down anyway to help seal the deal. Now, maybe Again, not the most exciting type of match, I suppose, but we tie up this one Noblar, and that's a tie game, I suppose. I honestly believe after the fact that I did to myself, going so aggressively onto the side there, which kind of demonstrates why trying to do like a half cage or at least going along the border is a terrible idea. You can't back up and you have no room to maneuver. I thought I had a window there with the bonehead and their ogre's not getting a chance to do damage necessary on their first turn. And that was probably a mistake. And we got some injuries. They were just not injuries for my sources, surprisingly. Yeah, that was like a 6+, I think, to pick it up. Yeah, -1 for a tackle. Okay, no, it would be a 5+. So let's just try and get some actual SPP for my players, although Krosa is going to get medical bills. Sore eye, I guess. I guess it's the proper term. Actually, I can get a 1-dice block with my blocker, so let's see if Krosa can deal with this. It depends where it goes. Well, that's kind of what I want. Now I get a 1-dice block here, we'll see if it pays off or not. Again, I could have done so much more differently there. I was just terrified with the prospect of something that actually is more extreme than what the lizardmen are. Having more strength, I believe they can have 6 ogres in all seriousness, so thankfully I only had to deal with 5. And I have a blitz available. Do I try and injure it both down? Let's end this the way it's supposed to. It's basically been the Skinks and the Noblars doing all the real work. Outside the ogres murdering my sore eye, I suppose. There, I said it properly. I'm honestly not happy with that there, if I were to be honest. But good God, it was only an hour-long match because of that frantic craziness. Oh, and because it's a draw, it won't let me reroll, but the good news, Krosa can deal with that niggling injury. Ooh, and Kernok's got the MVP. I would have loved the Saurus, but I can live with that. I could definitely live with that. I just have Mesteko. Is Mesteko out for a match? Yeah. I didn't use my Apothecary on him, considering the amount of mighty blows we had to deal with, but it at least pays off there. Let's see what we get for a level up. Anything good? We get a 9. Not quite a characteristic trait. We need to roll at least a 10 to increase movement or armor or something like that. So sadly, nothing exciting here just yet. Just more sidestep. Now, Krosa, time to go get your bills paid. Put on market. I'm assuming that's fire you, right? Selling price. Okay, you could just, I suppose, trade to other players. I'm just going to fire you and then rehire you, I suppose. Well, we got close on the name. There, now we'll get you your proper headpiece, and Krosa is back. Since Krosa had no levels up anyway, I think I can live with this for now. Oh, confirm the purchase, yeah. There. Now we have a croc score without the niggling, and maybe I can get back to the real fighting. But I have a bit of time to do another match. Okay, we have an opponent, so. Oh, is this the same fella? No. Is this the same fellow? Good God. No, this is a different fellow, but good God, another ogre squad? On the plus side, I guess the practice I had in the last game is gonna start paying off, or at least be able to put into practice here. And they still have 5 ogres. I'm pretty certain they can get 6. They probably just don't have the money for it. And good god, 90,000 in petty cash. How? I'm hoping they can't buy an ogre somehow. Because then that would just make it a regular ogre for the human player, or the human faction. They have at least 1 block and 1 break tackle ogre. Break tackle is going to be scary, since they can use their strength to at least break out of tackle zones as opposed to dodge. Yeah, French person? Yeah, the name, I see it there. I wonder if the player names are like that too. I don't know if they're randomly generated. Yeah, these are all French style type of names, at least very similar anyway. At least different language. I just have no way to know if those were... Oh god, not only do we have to deal with ogres, we have to deal with a bomber. Which encourages me to touch down early because it's an illegal weapon. But it's an AoE, it's basically an AoE ball toss. Which can be really scary and incredibly random. Since it could blow up in my face and cause all sorts of problems. But all in all, despite how much I get at myself for that last match, at least was a tie. So my win streak technically is still in play, right? Technically. And now we have the bomber guy. Which I have little experience with, but I know how he's supposed to work. So I think I go on offense and see if it's possible for an early touchdown. Although, it may be a mistake with the bomber, because again, the bomber is going to be able to, like, it's an AoE ball toss basically. It scatters a little bit, so it's not most reliable, but they do have accurate to help with that some. But yeah, they throw the bomb, and depending where it's land, there's a chance it can knock down my players. It could also knock down their players too. But I don't know all the nuances to them there, and there's a lot to have to read through. Passes are not turnovers, even if they fail, and he can't move if he's going to do a toss. That I remember. A ball may be intercepted. If it's intercepted, I could toss it back at them. But it's like a 6+ intercept that is the only catch. The bomb explodes when it lands in an empty square or an opportunity to catch the bomb fails. Any player in the same square is knocked down. Oh, so it's a guaranteed knockdown if it hits dead perfectly on the target, and 4+ on anyone around it. Uh-oh, did my opponent go? Is my opponent AFK'd out? Uh-oh, this may be a good thing with all the Noblars. But since their illegal weapon is kind of not in play, I can't abuse that fact, but this is not the match I want, even if I am dreading it terribly. And Mestekwet is out for the match, is it? Yeah, I still have my 2 blockers, which I feel like are going to be really damn important for dealing with these Noblars, since I can't reliably knock them down with their defender's stumble dice. There we go. So these blitzers still allow me to get a 1 in 3 chance to kill the Noblars, and if I can get on this Grenadier, which if there's, I'm going to have to keep an eye if he's in play or not. Because I want to try and touch down, or at least force them to touch down early if he's in play, because then he just gets ejected. Since his bombs will negate my armor, as far as just knocking me down. Or, well, negates my strength. Armor means nothing until I get knocked down, never mind that fact. But I guess we're attract. I don't know what to make of this. I was expecting maybe a bunch of players to come back for the new season, the sale, and Blood Bowl 3 being announced, but so far, if these are players coming back, they really just care about stomping people, which I guess should not be surprising. if I were to be serious. But at least this one's being a little bit smarter by protecting her ogres from a bash. Again, I'm gonna have real difficulty knowing where Gnoblars are. Unless I change the camera angle. Which I'm still seriously considering doing, because I think that ruined one of my block attempts just because not knowing it was there. Because look, how the hell am I going to know that's there? Because I'm not going to see that little circle when it's my turn like now. And I really have to be paying attention with these skills, because it's so easy. Just look how easily these skill lists kind of overlap each other. But since there's not a lot of ogres to play with, I'm just gonna go with the bone grinder setup. I am missing a Saurus. Gotta keep that in mind. And I feel like my blockers at least give me the best chance to kill these Gnoblars. At the same time, I would love to have a blitz ready for aggressive play forward. Oh, I have 3 side steps. I gotta remember that. And the loner is the isolate one. This is what I'm uncertain about. Do I want to leave one of my blockers available for blitz on ogre? Since I can technically do that. Especially since I have the possibility to potentially surf one out. My left side's a little bit weaker as a result, but my skinks are mobile enough to at least go over on the right. So I'm gonna go with it. Oh! That helps some. Now, what do I do with Crosa with that said? Oh, you can't move. Oh, okay. I was not thinking about dodges. But I think this is a best case situation. Just free up everyone. I want to start killing Gnoblars, but they have 3 to spare. Where's the ball going? Well, if I can pick it up, then I can just go anywhere I want with this ball, at least. I really do want to keep this block here, so I think that's what I'm going to do. And best of all, this Saurus doesn't actually need to blitz. That's something I gotta keep in mind, so maybe I can have my cake and eat it too here. Blitz maybe this Gnoblar, or even use another Saurus to blitz. There's a lot of possibilities here, I just don't know if I'm using it the best. But I think that's the plan. I got my main strength over on the right, everyone is free. Now I just got to move everyone over and get my 2 dice block. This may be a bit of a mistake. I can't really get a skink here. So it can almost easily just blitz on out. So maybe this is not going to be as effective as I like to think. But Crosa, where do you go? You tie people up. I think I'm willing to have you go here and at least make the risky first Gnoblar. You guys start running interference. Gotta keep in mind the ogre movement. No, you are not. So ogre can sprint there. And Gnoblars basically have the same movement as the ogres. Yep. That's an important fact to keep in mind. I have mobility. They have muscle and really fragile guys that are hard to knock down. And we'll see if Bonehead I can take advantage of that in this game or not. I think this is secure enough as is. Let me start positioning myself over. Again, I could be doing the same mistake here. I want to at least have a little bit of freedom to move. I don't want to go along the edge, but I do want to be along this line. Best case. So get a 2 dice block there. Damn, that's a bad way to start rolling. I think... You're just gonna blitz a skink, I think is what's gonna happen, if I were to be serious. Well, the stun is perfect. It doesn't help me surf you, but it helps. And I did move all my sources, so let me blitz with this guy. There. I'll take a pow. What's it gonna be? Aw. Don't AFK out on me. We're trying to have a real game here. And you are my blitzer, so I kind of want to leave you free. Where do we best put you, though? We do have an opening there, but I also have a skink to help with that. And I did burn my reroll, that's important to note, so I'm not going to have an easy time picking up this ball. It did at least move 2 spaces over where I want it to go. Well, Krosa is the one with the mouth animation as far as his blocks, so he would be able to tell us if they're edible or not. With armor value 5, they definitely are they are... Well, they're not even crunchy. You just can basically eat them whole at this point, especially with Ogre and Saurus. You did get your 2 dice block, dang it. Krosa is still hanging, though. This one ogre is free. Bomber I'm a little bit scared of, but I kind of did spread myself out a tiny bit, unless they want to throw over here. This might be a more riskier type of throw, though, since the scatter could hit his own guys. Can hit the ogres especially. Oh, you are going to try and throw it. I don't know where exactly you're trying to throw it, but okay. Oh, choose a player to intercept. Oh, someone caught it. Or tried to catch it, so was it on a Noblar? I think it was a Noblar, because it didn't sound like me. Oh. Well, that was convenient. Because my opponent didn't decide to move to ogres. Now, I really do need to pick up this goddamn ball, though. I would love to try for a source to pick it up. If I were to be honest. It just really sucks that I had to burn that reroll so quickly. Loner, I'll have you go there. And maybe you could tie up our little ogre friend. Ah, that was not what I want, but I'll take it. I am leaving it there to cause problems, but I do have a blocker still. Now, a lot of this does ride down to if I could pick up the damn ball or not. And if I don't move the skink, it is going to, without a doubt, try and blitz it to get it in an awkward position. I just don't have frenzy to reliably knock this thing out of the ring or off the field. So I'm just wondering how I can do this here. The only thing I could think of is like throw 3 more players onto it to at least get a 1 dice block on them. Which I don't know if is a good idea. And I gotta remember the bomb, so let's not get too complacent. Yeah, I'll worry about handing it off to a source later. Let's just actually get the damn ball. So I'm okay with being along the line here for now. Gives me a little more freedom. I just don't want to be in the tackle zone of these ogres. It goes without saying. Actually, let me back you up one. That at least covers the tackle zones there. I want at least one source forward. And I did burn my bullets, keep that in mind too. And I can move a source over there, but how worried am I that these could circle around? Not very well. So I do have a turn. I just want to make sure it does not get a 2-dice block when it tries to blitz me. So I think this is good. A bit of an opening up on top there, but there's no risk of the ball handler at least being tackled. Yeah, explosives to goblins. It didn't pay off that time, and he just got up and moved, so he's not allowed to throw a bomb this turn. He has to forfeit his entire move and even a block. Well, his entire turn, basically, to throw a bomb. So I do have a one-turn window, but I can't... I think it's way too risky to try and do a tight cage. Just because, even if it scatters a little bit, it's still gonna potentially knock someone down. And the more clumped up I am, the easier it is for him to hit any of my players, even with the scatter. But, wasn't there some kind of penalty if I successfully knock him down? Or maybe I'm probably thinking the chainsaw one, the goblin. It just talks about passing and all that, so maybe not. I would love to see a bombardier actually get thrown. I wonder how that would look. Have all the bombs just go off as it craters into the ground. They did get a knockdown. I would have loved the block to have been valuable there. At least if I can somehow knock out this ogre, that's only 4 I'm going to have to deal with, and that makes it so much more manageable. Is he going to get up, though? Or is he smart? Are they smart enough? Is my player smart enough to not let it get up? They haven't burned a blitz yet, and there's always a chance of it being ruined by a bonehead. Which is why I need to watch for those opportunities. My last opponent didn't actually... I think I got more boneheads on Krosa than his entire team of ogres did, if I were to be serious. Or at least it was tied. One or the other, I feel like. But I wasn't honestly counting. I actually could have looked in the statistics. They are a bunch of boneheads, so... My last player had his ogres well trained. That's all I could tell you there. So you get the knockdown. Not quite close enough to the ball handler. But there is a nice... If I can knock down this ogre, I think I can go left relatively well. But I'm going to split up half my squad to do that. Oh my god. That was like the riskiest play, but they had a reroll too. These ogre players are risk takers, good god. I don't know if that was you were asking if the ogres are smart enough. I don't know if that was genius by an ogre or just sheer stupidity presenting itself. I'll let you decide. And that ogre did not get up, so I think that works to my advantage some. And I have an opportunity to knock down this ogre at least. I just don't quite have enough players to go over there very well. Because I'm at risk of being surrounded just because this one ogre here. If it was here, maybe I could have a little more freedom. And I can get a 1 dice block with my blitzer, at least. Although the 1 and 9 with the dodge is more reliable, I just get the value of my reroll. And that's a go for it. And this actually gives me no... I don't gain any ground, I don't think, doing this. That's a bit of a problem. You're a loner. I don't care about you getting injured, so... Actually... I'm wondering if it's possible for me to move this skink. I want to try and get my 2 dice block on this guy. But I need a skink here for the assist. And there's a Noblar right there, which is why I want to knock it down. That sucks. That really stinks there. I have everyone up, but now the ball carrier's at risk of getting smushed. Didn't get an opportunity to dodge anything, and that was 3 dice block too. Which arguably should have been heavily in my favor to even get a push. Things could still go well for me. There still could be a bonehead. Wishful thinking there. And you're a block. Oh, you're actually a Noblar with block. So you're the one who wants the ball is what I'm seeing. Okay, the bonehead triggered. And they don't have loner though, but they let it go. I was kind of wondering if they... Oh, maybe they did burn the reroll. Oh, they got snake eyes. Well... Yeah, I forgot to bag Nuffle, and apparently this entire strategy of dodging into my ball carrier was apparently a stupid idea. So for a moment I was going to praise the ogre for being a genius. But I got some damn lucky there to make up for that bad roll with my skink. I like the idea of this ogre staying down, but as soon as I move an ogre away, I'm almost certain that he's going to get up with it and just blitz me. Which may not be a terrible idea if you burn a blitz on this one source. Okay, push. There we go, I'll live with that. Yep, the plan was clearly forgotten. He got halfway there. He just couldn't think past the first turn, is the only problem. He'll remember it by next turn, but hopefully by then my skink will be long gone. I think, in all honesty, with what we saw that roll with the skink, it's probably a good thing I didn't try and dodge, because that could have easily been a failed dodge there. Since both those were like a skull and double down, which is technically the same thing as failing my dodges here. So that may have been a blessing in disguise. Since I would have lost the ball, that Noblar could have probably picked up with his blodge. And I have... Yep, this one has block. I think they want to try and sort of bomb. I think. I'm not sure anymore. I think that was the plan. They want to sort of bomb and actually misclicked. Now I have a blitzer available, but can't get any dice blocks of any note because of the Noblar. But I think I have a window now to go over here, but I need to actually succeed in dodging first. But my skink can make it up here really well. I'm not comfortable with one dice block, if I were to be honest, though. And I gotta keep in mind that ogre will likely blitz the hell out of me. Okay, got the dodge. I have no rerolls and I cannot move the source. Unless I want to move the skink, that might be the exception to that rule. Yeah, I'm not gonna get my 2 dice block, try as I might. Krosa can eat something though. Maybe that would have helped with my mobility issues some. What Noblar am I most afraid of? We have the one with block there, but... maybe I should have gone after the one with block. That was a really good roll. Krosa, you stay there. I need like a... I needed a roll of 5, and I would just barely miss with my blow. Do I want to go here? I don't get the freedom. I think I do this instead. At least that way, if I do knock it down or push it, I can back the Saurus away. And I do have blocks, so this is a pretty effective roll. Ooh, stun. I can't do any other kind of moves, alas, so gotta be careful. And now I get a 3 dice block here, but we kind of saw what happened before. I'm a little bit, gun shy. And I think I kind of want to tempt you to blitz this source, because at least that puts you away from the ball carrier. Don't necessarily like it, but it baits my opponent to do something that doesn't help him. Boom. There we go. Now these sources are just going to hang there. I'm going to keep you there. The Noblar could potentially blitz my skink, but it is like 2 red dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 go for it at that, so... I am just thankful the mistake they made with their bombardier. I don't know what exactly they were aiming at, but... well, I think we could kind of tell what they were aiming at, because that's where it moved. Thankfully, it didn't pay off. There we go. No injuries, I can happily live with that. And I'm in a really good position, maybe touchdown now. Although you may be willing to get this ogre up now. Bonehead, yes, thank you. Did you re-roll it? Nope, no re-roll. And everything else is kind of tied up. Although this Noblar could in theory just run in here and give me a 3 red dice. Which probably wouldn't be a good idea for him. Well, we finally gained knockout results. Which is definitely going to start getting felt if they happen. If I get multiples of them. But these 2 swords are doing their job tying up the ogres at least. They're sadly just a bunch of punching bags. They don't realistically have a chance to fight back. Alright, there's the blitz I was kind of expecting. Okay, push. Sadly, I'm not going to get the serfdom. But I am in a position to knock him back down. I just gotta deal with this one Noblar first. And don't forget, Krosa has a prehensile tail. Although you rolled a 1. Actually, you have dodge. So what was the other roll? Ooh, snake eyes. So prehensile tail would not have mattered there, but still. Thank you, Krosa, for getting rid of that little punk. It would have still... I don't know how many red dice that would be if it be 3 red dice or not, but still, I'm thankful for that. Still gotta deal for a Noblar. Which I need to actually knock it down if I want the 2 dice. And with sidestep, it's going to be really tricky to do because you're going on the right. I'm almost certain of it. Because if you don't, then I get 2 dice. Oh, well, that was kind of good news for me. That helps me. Thank you kindly. Sadly, it's only a push, but it's good enough. Now, how much my squad can I get up there? A blitz with Krosa is not a ridiculous idea. I just need some assurances Krosa can get a good chance to hit. At least a good chance to push him back, at least. And I think it's better... How worried am I about the Noblar in all seriousness? Sure, they can dodge me, but their strength's 1 at the same time. Oh, who am I king? I could possibly still surf this ogre out. Because if I go here... Yeah, that will require a dodge move, so let me make sure everyone's in position first before I attempt this. Now I'm... Oh, that's not what I want. There we go. That's more like it. I almost did that bad. I almost did that wrong. Get the hell out of the field. And preferably get knocked out. Nah. The crowd didn't have enough muscle to beat him up. Oh, you had 6 skull. You would have been knocked out if it wasn't for 6 skull, you lucky bugger. At least that gets rid of some of your power. Oh yeah, Krosa hasn't even moved yet. Makes me wonder if I want to do that or not still. Oh, I'm fine with you getting knocked down. And we get another injury. Another skink gets another injury. This has been my strategy all along to level up my skinks. Just face off against a bunch of ogres repeatedly. And eventually my skinks will get to level 3 in no time. Because good luck getting my sources to get some blocks on them. And to be fair, I kind of want them to attack the ogres anyway, just because they're the only ones that can realistically knock the ogres down. Especially my blitzers with the block. But thank you again for the bonehead. We're making up for the lack of boneheads my last ogre opponent had. Which is kind of nice. Uh-oh. They're sick and tired of these skinks. I think it's safe to say, don't... What did Alda do to you? Ooh, this is gonna hurt. But at least it's the one that has... Yeah, Alda has 0 SPP, so... At least kind of the most expendable size for the loner. And thankfully only a stun. I'm just keeping an eye on my hard drive space, because... Who knows how close I am to running out. Especially since we're not even through the first half just yet. This is a real match in comparison to the last one, I suppose. And your blodge, Noblar is out in the middle of nowhere. And Krosa says hi to you too. And... Yeah, that time they rolled a 2, so Prehensile Tail was important for that. But yeah, not the best of luck for something that's so nimble. That's for sure. I'm kind of more interested to do, use my blitzer, if I were to be honest. Actually, I can knock down both of them. Who am I kidding? Or at least block on both of them. I have a skink here to do that. Gonna be a bit risky, because if I don't knock them down, or get any kind of promising result, then they're just going to block my poor skink. And I do get a 2 dice block there, at least. So which one do I want to do first? I think I do the blitzer first because the bonehead could screw me over, and I don't get the strengths. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait. Let me do that right. Let me do the math right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you need at least one go for it. Yeah, let's do our blitz here. Okay, got our POW. Good, good. I'll take it. Gotta knock out the boot. Thank you, Gordy. Gordy. I'll get it figured out someday. Now let's see if Bonehead triggers. And another POW for good measure. Well, that was an effective turn. It was only 2 blocks, but it still felt effective. I shouldn't speak too soon, because again, they have the mighty blow on all their big blockers. On all their ogres. And it's starting to pay off now. Well, they rolled double 6s on that armor break, so they didn't need help. So I gotta remember, I got 2 turns left, so I have to remember, yeah, not to Krendor it is supposed to term. Ooh, thank you for the dice being cooperative. Oh, I probably could have gone left to maybe just force this Noblar to do some dodges. Not that it's a big deal with them having 2 pluses and rerolls, but that will help some. Okay, they're just moving them away. That's fine by me. You just basically concede it. Me having getting the touchdown at least. Now we have a Noblar here, so you're safe, because I can't really get a 2 dice block anywhere. But Krosa can at least get a 2 dice. The new and improved and recently recovered Krosa. I am still safe up here at least, so not the result I would have liked, though. Since this one Noblar still would technically give me 3 red dice. I should have done some moves there first. I just don't know what kind of moves I would have won in all seriousness, since those 2 Sauruses are probably all I need for the one Noblar here anyway, regardless of how they were positioned. Yep, Nuffle spread out the love there. Since really, again, these things are going to be impossible to kind of trip down despite the luck I've had with the prehensile tail. So all I could realistically do is just make sure they have 3 red dice, which I kind of already did. I didn't need to move them or anything. Since there's no way for that Noblar to actually get behind my sources. But I'm not going to play around with my food. I'm just going to touch down immediately on next turn. You are going to try a foul, because you really dislike these skinks. And thankfully that did nothing. I am kind of tempted to see if I can smack this Noblar down with my Blitzer, but that's a disaster waiting to happen. And I may... Let's see, a 1 in 9 versus 3 dice with a block. So this is probably the best they can do. So I still will have to do the block anyway. So much for my double down. I still will have to do the dodge. Because you're going to go right here or here. I have a better idea. I don't need to dodge you. I could just dodge. I could block into you. And that's my touchdown with arguably a lot less risk. And injury. Good God, these skinks. My skink just got 5 SPP at a single turn there. If that's not in-game MVP, I don't know what is. A little unlucky with the dang block. I generally tried to get my source to SPP, and apparently it wasn't meant to be. Ooh, the Ogre does get up, though. And they only have 1 turn left. Skinks are vicious, but only when they are dealing with something that only has strength 1. Now, I'm kind of okay having a loner here. It is, after all, a loner. I want to protect my blitzers from... And they could do a 1-turn touchdown. I just don't know what that would actually look like in all seriousness. But we're going to prepare for that occasion. Which are my less... Who is my most expendables as far as SPP and all that? Since again, this is the final turn. And I think I want Crosa in the middle just because, again, Prehensile Tail is so damn useful on this occasion. I need one more player. I have the Loner, I have 0 SPP. And the Skinks are surprisingly durable, considering their dodge and all that. What I want to do is maybe encourage them to go say hi to Crosa. So if they go through the middle, if they somehow succeed on the toss, they would have to run by him. I'm hopeful at least. Because I got all my tackle zones covered. Maybe I should have had the source in the middle, because at least that way it's a little harder for him to foul the source. But I'm not exactly sure what kind of 1-turn touchdown they can do aside for throwing their teammate. That's the big obvious one. Nope, ran out of space there. I may have to resort to using the Twitch stream for a second match. Unless I can empty the recycle bin, that might help. That gave me a tiny bit extra space. Let's see what they can do. Get a free bonus turn. Well, there's sadly nothing I could do about this blitz, but... You know what I would love to do? Just blitz the Noblar. Commit suicide. Because if it gets knocked down, that'd be great. I just did not really think this through, did I now? Yeah, my opponent's going to have to do a lot of passes, and that could have almost been really terrible for me if that went out of field. Well, actually, which way did it scatter? I did not actually look to see where it landed. And I don't know what the dice means by when it rolls a 4 for which direction. Was that up? Was that down? Was that left or right? Maybe I was perfectly safe of that not falling out. That was my loner. That was the expendable. Miss next game? You're not even going to be on my team next game. Why do I care? Although, what's going to happen to these other two? With that said, I'm a little bit worried for Alda, who is going to get knocked down. Okay, that's a stun, thankfully. And if somehow my source doesn't get knocked down, that protects my skink quite a bit from a foul. Since a bonehead would be kind of be better. Both down. So, my source does survive, thankfully. So he's covering 3 potential foul zones here. It's still... How many players do they even have over here? They can only get 2 more players over there, I think, to increase the foul value. So it's still very risky, and you're going to have to pass. So far, the dice are going your way. Can you pass while stunty, though? So far, the dice are going amazingly for you. Because those without doubt had to be 6 pluses all around. You need to hand off if you want a touchdown. So far, so good, the cursed bugger. Now you have to do a toss. Moment of truth. Because this... Oh, you did that wrong, did you? Can you still toss? Are you still able to throw your teammate? It doesn't matter anyway. I almost wonder if that was a mistake, them doing the blitz or not. Because I don't know if he could still pass after doing that block. But that was really damn scary to be an actual touchdown. Nope, my source is still out, sadly. Despite the 2 chances. Just give me a moment, I'm going to have to switch my hard drives to start recording on the other one, I think. At least try to. Now, actually, let me fix up my defensive formation now that we got... Oh, my opponent... Waiting for opponent. I don't want to know what just happened there. So I'm missing 2 sources here. I have a bit of a blind spot, so I need a really tight formation. This doesn't help me so much anyway, I suppose. Nope, my blitzer's in front. I don't want that. Maybe this is as good as I could get it. It leaves a lot of open space, though. But I got myself a touchdown. I like to think I'm in good shape. I like to. It really comes down to how these first few turns play out. Because I need to honestly start bashing these ogres down, but the Nobblar without doubt are going to give them quite a bit, negate a lot of my extra strength, actually blocks them. And these guys are so damn irritating to try and knock down anyway, unless I use my blitzer on them. Since I don't have tackle, nice sweater, we don't care about that, because it was already a nice sweater. Now, make your move. Do your worst, because I'm terrified about your worst right now. Don't leave in suspense now. You have an opportunity to tie the game off. But at least that first half I could feel a little bit better with how I played it. Oh. Okay. We will now go to commercial break, I suppose. What can I do if they're not going to respond and it's been, what, 5 minutes now? Oh. Apparently my opponent disconnected, I think. I don't know, did my opponent actually concede on me here? Is this their way of conceding? Do they honestly believe they have no chance to win or tie? I'm just trying to understand the mindset here. The big question though, if my opponent did concede, would that still count as a 5-win streak? Or did the tie technically ruin it? That's what I'm curious about. Since sure I did mess up horribly on how aggressive I was being in my first Ogre game, but that was generally because I was so damn afraid of these ogres and not being able to play any sort of bashy game. Maybe. We'll let it time down and see what happens, I guess. Since it isn't counting down here, but at the end of the day, there's not really much I can do anymore. It might just be a victory based on them conceding or disconnect error. But I still am up 1-0, so it still would be a win regardless. If it's just a question of how well I can keep these damn Noblar from getting a touchdown, especially this one with Blodge. The combination of block and dodge. That is without a doubt going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. Especially since I don't have any Skinks with Wrestle yet. Or tackle to negate their dodge. So you're going to be a nightmare to deal with even with 3 dice. Because we kind of seen just how resilient my Skinks have been. They've been doing really well at dodging a lot of the blocks. Yeah, a lot of it does come down to the fact that only the blitzes are the ones that can actually hit the Skinks, in all honesty. There was maybe 1 or 2 occasions based to bad dice rolls or just bad positioning they were able to hit my Skinks otherwise. But nonetheless, I am curious though. Who just got 5 SPP for crying out loud? Was it seriously Kangwa? Kangwa of course had to get the 5 SPP for that touchdown injury combo. He is almost on his 2nd level, so I'm really hoping maybe I can start getting some doubles, so that way maybe I can get him block. Since with the guides I read there, you kind of don't want a high level skink unless they have access to some of the essentials, which is block, higher attribute stats. So, if Kangwa does not get something really good for his level 3, it might be more worthwhile to just leave him on the bench maybe. It's probably not all that important factor now, but as I start getting a real developed team and start looking to hiring more skinks, I may have to consider firing those that are kind of bloated with these skills that I don't really need. We'll know in another 2.5 minutes, because if it was a disconnect or a crash, they should potentially be back on, especially with the 5 minutes we gave them after all, with the pause. Oh, I think they're back. I think. Or did the servers in general just die, and I'm seeing this because I lost connection? I can't hit escape anyway to go to the turn on the pause anyway, so I am wondering what this is. Or did I lose internet connection altogether? Oh no. Huh. We still had like a minute and a half, so did the game just decide that to concede it for me? It was a good match, mind you, just not exactly how I would have liked to have won it. But a good match nonetheless. I don't want to hire you. You're out for next game, for crying out loud. I think you're... Oh my god. Never mind, it's not Kungwa Kungwa. Tolance. Was it Tolax? Got level 3. I don't know what to think anymore. Sadly though, both my Skinks got MVP, so... In both those games we got almost nothing on my Sauruses, or Sauri. So, very little progress on them gain levels, sadly. But hey, I'm excited at the prospect of level up Skinks. I would love to see a Devil though. Give me a good roll. That is not a good roll. I think, what was this skill? Was it Sprint? No, it's not Sprint, it's Sure Feet, I think. Allows me to reroll and go for it. But yeah, a lot of these skills are not really all that useful, aside from maybe Diving Tackle. But Diving Tackle would be specialized for a skink I would use for grabbing the ball, and not so much a ball handler. It's the big thing to note. I would need things like Wrestle to negate block, Tackle, potentially, to ignore the dodge, but as I kind of already explained, I need very specific rolls for that. But nonetheless, it's another level up skink. I'm still excited for it, but we have a lot of work to do for my Saurus still. Oratzel, after what, 3 games, has not even gotten a single SPP. The 2 SPP of Mestekowet was only in the very first game. And Salatzel is just being robbed of his 1 SPP. So ultimately, not quite the ending I would have liked. But damn tense games at that, having to deal with something that has more muscle than me. And arguably is more dodgy than me, to some extent.